Hey everybody, welcome back to Silk Reef Projects and Tools. Today we're going over my professional tool bag. And he's a weighty boy. Alright, so we got the tool bag. Gotta get it up on the scale. And we're gonna check the weight on this boy. This is a very cheap bathroom scale I bought from Walmart. So who knows how accurate it is, but it's better than guessing, I would say. Oh goodness. Whoa. Alright, looking at this. Probably about 31 pounds. This bag and all the tools inside it, 31 pounds. And this is my everyday sort of carry that around pretty much almost anywhere I go to work. So we're going to go through what I keep in it. I might end up taking some stuff out, you know. Now I'm actually taking a second to look at actually what I have in here. So we're going to see what I keep in this, the tools I use. This is going to be sort of a longer video. I'm just finishing up just about 3 months left of my third year as an apprentice industrial electrician. And so these are the tools that I use. Most days I work at a chemical factory. The other place that I work, the majority of my time would be a heating and air conditioning facility. Do a little bit of commercial residential, specifically nursing homes. But like I said, the most days that I'm at work, I'm at a chemical factory working over there. So we're going to go through this kind of bit by bit, tool by tool. Again, it's going to be kind of a longer video. If you couldn't tell by the red line at the bottom, there's probably a very large number at the end. Yeah, just kind of, this is sort of a vanity project for me, not gonna lie. But I'm really excited to do this video, so let's dive in. We'll go pocket by pocket, tool by tool, we'll lay it all out, see everything that is in this tool, in this bag. So again, just about 31 pounds, so let's dig into this bad boy. Alright, before we get stuck into this, I just want to say that I, again, am not a DeWalt purist. I'm not a Milwaukee fanboy. I am utilitarian in nature. If it works, it works. So that's the beautiful thing about tools, is usually there's not a lot of faff, usually. Sometimes there is. But that's the beautiful thing about tools, is what can it do, and does it do what it's supposed to do. I gotta admit, though, I am a little bit about style. Yeah, I guess. Which most of the time tools don't allow that. But hey, again, I am a third-year apprentice industrial electrician. These are the tools that I have. This is my main bag I keep all the time. So if you work with tools, or you're a tool person, you got opinions on stuff, leave it down in the comments. We can have a discussion about things that you like, stuff that I got. Stuff you don't like about some of the stuff I got, or things that you might think, hey, you maybe should check this out or pick this up, because I use it and it's a great tool. So yeah, let's just get stuck in here. Open up this bad boy first. Oof. Got this Milwaukee multi-level, adjustable level. Got a little knob here on the end. You turn counterclockwise and it loosens it up. And then you got a whole array of markings here. So let's just mark it to say 30 degrees. Ish, we'll get in there, probably in the room, area. And then clockwise, tighten it back up. And then what that does is, using this edge, that will tell you where 30 degrees is. And I bought this for an area that we call the truck bay. And the piping up there, the conduits and the process pipes are all wacky. And so I bought this so I could try to match it up and then match my conduit that I was bending to it. It's got a single magnet on the bottom. I would have preferred two, but hey, you take what you get. This was $35 if I remember correctly. It's a little expensive in my opinion, but it's all metal construction for the most part, except for obviously the level and the mechanism here. But I would say it's a good tool if you work with stuff. We need a lot of different levels. You don't have, like I said, a digital one, which yeah, you go with the digital one, but I don't know. I prefer this. So, but yeah, absolutely would recommend that. Let's see what we got here. Klein brand stubby multi screwdriver, which uses a nut driver or flat blades or Phillips. Again, being a Klein tool, it comes with a lifetime warranty. So when this goes bad, I can exchange it for free. Stubby screwdriver is actually something that a coworker of mine recommended early on, just like baby chains, just like nut drivers. He was like, you should get yourself a stubby screwdriver. And he was absolutely right. Every once in a while I get into a tight spot, a stubby screwdriver can really save your rear end. So absolutely would recommend getting a stubby screwdriver. I like this one. I've had it for almost 3 years now, so good tool. Don't use it super often, but I use it enough. This is Husky brand multi-bit screwdriver. I think it's actually ratcheting that my friend Adam got me for Christmas right after I started. I use these little hex heads, these Allens, more than anything with this screwdriver. I have all these other bits that I keep. I don't really use them, but this will come in handy, so I keep it in the bag whenever I need it. Got an Irwin pencil sharpener. You can do regular pencils or contractor pencils. Pretty good. I think this was like $1. And I have a bit, get it out of here, for a Klein multi-nut driver. It's 3/16 quarter inch. Almost never use these size bolts. So I keep it just in case I need it, but ultimately don't really ever use that. Here we've got, this is a little bit of style over substance, a little bit. It is a DeWalt brand knife. I bought this because I'm a dumb human man. I was like, ooh, it looks cool, I want to buy it. So I did. The good thing is, I do use it for work. Pretty rarely. It's for cutting larger wire, stripping back or making window cuts in grounding conductors, or cutting to terminate the insulation off of, say, like a 3/0 wire or 250 casing or whatever have you, as opposed to using the power tools that they have now to do that. But this is what I have because I'm a lowly electrical apprentice. I don't have the fancy tools, but it has a bigger cutting surface than, say, you know, a Milwaukee Fastback. Hey, look, a Milwaukee Fastback. Everyone should buy one of these. You know, comparatively, the cutting, there's a lot more cutting edge on this. Even though this isn't replaceable blade, I still like it. It's pretty slim. I don't keep it on my person. Not very heavy. So this is a pretty good purchase, I'd say. Used it, honestly, I was worried I was going to buy it and be like, this is cool, and then never use it, but it is pretty good for stripping big wire. So that's why I keep it. Here we've got our Uglies. This is 2017. That's a little outdated. We need our 2020 edition. We're on the 2020 code now. And it's just full of all kinds of, you know, transformer connections, and it's full of electrical references, basically. So if you're in a pinch and you don't have your code book, which your code book's really not going to help you that much, this little electrical reference guide is pretty great. Don't use it that often, but in a pinch, every once in a while it comes in handy. Pipe wrench. I bought a pipe wrench for a project we're working on right now where we're doing a lot of IMC piping, rigid conduit piping, and I wasn't sure. You know, there's no other electrician that I know that keeps a pipe wrench with them, but I gotta say, after having this for about a month, it has come in handy quite a bit. So if you are an electrician and you work with IMC or rigid conduit on the semi-reg, I would recommend a pipe wrench. I really would. It's been really nice. This is an all-steel one. They make aluminum ones that are a little lighter. They're a little heavy. But, yeah, industrial electricians, I would recommend get a pipe wrench. Maybe don't keep it in the truck, or maybe do keep it in the truck, not in your bag. You know, maybe not using it all the time, but would recommend it. 2 sets, chain lock, 430, slip groove, pliers. Nothing to say, really. They're great. They're chain lock brand. They're the OG. You're never going to go wrong. Alright, let's see. Go ahead and turn on the end here. Got our little Milwaukee shrine, sort of. Not really. Got my day in and day out tape measure. This is what I use day in and day out. A 16-footer as opposed to a 25-footer. There's just so much more bulky. The 16-footer is great for what I need. I've gone over this tape measure in a previous video, but just to recap, wire spring clip, slot for a lanyard. Got a finger stop as opposed to a button stop, magnetic tip, double-sided. Yeah, pretty good tape measure. I like it quite a bit. Got a big pile of crap over here. I'm trying to avoid making a big mess. Got my old Milwaukee Fastback. This is the old version. I keep it because it's a good tool, and in case I lose my other one, I've got it spare. This is a Milwaukee, they call it the Rover. I don't know if you can read that out. Rover. This is their red lithium USB if I can get it open. Oh goodness. Battery, and I bought this specifically because my headlamp uses the same battery platform, and you can charge it with a USB-C cable. I was trying to say connection. I don't know why I want to say that. Comes with 2 light settings. I don't know if you can see that. That's actually, with my lights in the shop now are so bright. I don't know if you can see that, but we'll do the camera. Maybe that'll blind you. Ah! And then a little dimmer. So I bought this because, like I said, my headlamp uses the same thing, and when my headlamp would be dying, I needed to charge the battery. Well, I also need to use my headlamp. So I keep this one charged, and then if I have to switch out the battery really quick, I can recharge that other battery while I'm using this fresh one in my headlamp. So that's great. Got a little clip. Not very malleable, but it's got a nice opening, so it's pretty good to get like a shirt pocket or your pants pocket or something like that. This here is magnetic. This is magnetic. This is much stronger than this one is, but it works out. So I like this. I don't think it was very cheap, but really when you're buying stuff with batteries, rechargeable batteries, you're kind of spending more money on the battery than the tool itself. That's kind of the nature of big batteries. So that's great there. This side we've got a set of big Allens, a set of smaller Allens. Not much to say about that. They're Allens. They're great. They do what they're supposed to. Got some tin snips. Don't do a lot of sheet metal work, but every once in a while, like on a building that has sheet metal siding, it's like, I gotta get a hole through here, and you gotta cut stuff. So I learned recently that the coloring on tin snips, not just Milwaukee, all of them, have basically a reason, and I couldn't tell you a lot exactly what it means. I think it has to do with like where the stuff you're cutting off, where it will dispose out of the head. I don't know 100%, but that's what these colors. This is yellow tape I put on there to mark my tool, but that's what these colors mean on tin snips. So anyway, some Milwaukee tin snips. Here I've got, this is the first electrical tool we got here. Klein. This is an outlet tester with a GFCI button. Not much to say about it. It's a great tool. I actually got this in a combo pack with a multi-volt. Oh, actually, it's right here. Over here. Look at this. This is a Wiggy. We would call it a Wiggy. I don't really remember why we call it a Wiggy, but we call it a Wiggy. And this is a dual voltage. This is low volt and high volt non-contact voltage pen. I bought this actually around Christmas for $25, and that was like a steal. But I use this boy quite a bit because it can do. This is your high voltage, so I think this is above 50 volts, 50 to 1,000 volts, and then it can do low voltage. I think that does 12 to 50 volts. It's all AC. So anyway, nope, turn it off. There we go. A Wiggy. This is we use this to test voltage, and it doesn't introduce any new power. So this, for example, has batteries in it, and a multimeter, which we'll get to later, has its own power source to operate. This has no power in it. This is just basically conductors and I would imagine resistance inside. So the voltage will pass through your resistor, and if it's strong enough, it'll boost it all the way up to, so normally it'd be like 120, or if it's really powerful, you're using two-phase, it'll go up to 240. But I don't really use this that often, but I got it in the pack with these, what I really wanted, but it came with it, so I keep it in my bag. Oh, turn on the voltage pen. There you go. This is another voltage pen. I've had this for a little bit longer. This is just high voltage, we'll call it. So 50 to 1,000 volts, non-contact. Got my wrenches. DeWalt wrenches, action closed heads. These have been good to me. I don't really use these very often. I got 3/4, 11/16, 5/8. I don't use them very often, but every once in a while I will. So they stay on the outside of the bag. All right, the squashed end, we've got a pen. We've got, this is for hole saws. Now I found out it only works on DeWalt or Lennox brand hole saws. I don't know why it doesn't work on Milwaukee, but I have a Milwaukee set of hole saws and it does not fit. I don't get it, I don't know why. But anyway, this is actually my boss's tool, but he basically lets me use it. He's like, you're the one that does more work. I mean, he does work, obviously. He just does big boy, I have to build stuff work. But you're the one that we drill more holes anyway, so why don't you use it? So I keep that. And then we've got a Sawzall blade or a hacksaw blade. Sawzall, Milwaukee brand. And I got a couple hammer drill bits. This 3/16 we use quite a bit for tap cones, which are 1/4 inch. And then this is a 3/8 for slip, for sleeve anchors, really. I don't really know why I have this 1/4 inch one. Maybe it's for 1/4 inch anchors. We use a lot of those at the heating and air conditioning facility. So that is everything on the outside of the bag. So we're gonna get this opened up and go inside. All right, going inside the bag now. Whoa. There's a lot in here, so we're gonna take some time. Okay, first thing we want to go to is kind of like the inner most important bag. Oh goodness. And that's this boy. It's broken. It's a side pouch. It's broken. I broke it like almost immediately, so I never actually wear it on my side, but it is a side pouch. First and foremost, this is probably the most important tool that I use. I'm not gonna lie. It is a 11-in-1 multi-bit screwdriver. I use this pretty much every single day. Klein brand, lifetime warranty. I've already replaced it once. Probably gonna replace this one soon because all the bits are rusting out and it's getting kind of hard to open and close it. So, but anyway, this is the number one, the big boy, the big cheese. Then we've got these are called side cutting pliers. We call them dikes. Don't know why we call them dikes. I've always grown up calling them dikes. The dikes are for cutting wire. You can cut metal with them. I really wouldn't recommend it, but a pair of dikes is always good. A pair of needle nose with a wire cutter in here. Do I ever use that to cut wire? Very rarely, but need a pair of needle nose. Some baby channies. Never know when you're going to need baby channies. There's baby channies. A pair of wire strippers. These are Klein brand. Some people really don't like to have the spring in it. I really do, or the lock. I like both of these. This goes down to 18 stranded. Goes up to, I think it's number 10 stranded. Yeah, number 10 stranded. I use 10s a lot, 12s rarely. But I like these quite a bit. Some of you may not know. Some of you may know. Not sure. But these little holes here, can't read them, kind of worn off, but they are screw sizes. So 6/32, and I think it's a 8/32. So they're types of screws. They're usually for small electrical connections, outlets, and like whatnot. These are actually threaded holes, and you can thread those screws into this hole to a point where so if you want it's for cutting. So you'll thread the screw in to a length that you like, and then you'll just and it will shear it off and give you a clean cut. So not everybody knows that. I didn't know that when I first started. So someone's like, yeah, there's a thing. And then these here are for wire sizing, which I've never used that. But anyway, so that's the thing. So this is not my only pair of wire strippers, but these are the ones I use most often. So. Then we've got, these are lock ring wrenches, 1 inch 3/4, or excuse me, 1 inch 3/4 the blue, and then 1/2 inch is the red. I remember somebody was like, yeah, I wouldn't buy them, they're not worth it, not worth the time. Incorrect, these have been great. They don't work 100% of the time, but for the most part, they've been great tools. They weren't very expensive. If you're an electrician, I'd get them, absolutely. And then I've got 4 wrenches. Old DeWalt brand, well actually not. This one's Pittsburgh brand, because I lost my DeWalt one. I think I know exactly where it is, but I'm never going to get to it again, so it doesn't matter. Ratcheting, open-ended. The ones I keep on my person are 3/8, 7/16, 1/2" and 9/16. These are ones I use that I find using most often. Those are the ones that I keep. And this is like I said, this is like my go-to pouch. So it sits inside my bag, but these tools always come right back to this because these are the ones I use basically the most used day in and day out tools without fail. Both batteries. But I have a sub pouch, I would call it. This is a little guy. It's got a what's the word for it? Tape measure. There it is. Figured it out. Tape measure clip. I don't ever use this because it sits so low. You know, the belt would go through here. That's where I keep my tape measure, so I don't put my tape measure in. That's weird. This is my terminating side pouch. Pair of baby chainies. These are smaller strippers. Again, they've got the shears in here. These also have grooves for crimping ends on. Now they make crimps, which actually, somebody was like, you shouldn't use these because you're losing a lot of leverage, and that's true because you have way less leverage down here because that is basically all grip strength. Down here, you use all grip strength. And then up here, you have the leverage. You can get really good crimps on them, and they make crimpers where the crimpers are up here, which makes sense. But this was a tool I needed small, really small, because we do communication, data stuff. So I needed really small strippers, and then they came with the insulating, or excuse me, the crimpers at the bottom. So I have these, and then you've got these are what we call terminating screwdrivers, or they're just very, very small. Very, very small. So I've got a Phillips, and I've got a flathead. The flathead's 1/8 inch. I think the Phillips is the number 1 Phillips. Keep these guys on here. These are this is what I use when I'm terminating, say in a data panel of some sort. But that sits in on my bag. I'm gonna take a little swig of some zero sugar. Yay! So much fun. Baja Blast, baby! All right, we'll keep going. Next up, we've got a speaker. Got a big magnet on the back. It's got a little 1/4 inch threaded hole. You can mount it on a tripod. Don't know why you would, but hey, you could. Bluetooth. I broke it like immediately. I work in really loud environments, so a lot of times I'll just have this at full blast. My phone volume will be at full blast, and it cannot handle that much for that long. So I think Klein has a new one out. It's actually like physically bigger, which I'm not a fan of. But maybe it was to compensate because these are all blowing up. I don't know. I still use it. It's pretty decent. I think it was like $35. If you're not blasting music at all the time, then this is probably pretty good. But anyway, I keep it in my bag because every once in a while I'll have a chance to work by myself where I can have some music, which is always nice. Then we've got this boy. This is my multimeter. I asked for a Southwire multimeter for Christmas. I got one for my sister-in-law. Thank you. And I've been using this quite a bit. The thing is, Southwire doesn't make cases. They don't make cases for the multimeters. So this is just a multimeter case that had this little foam insert stuff. I bought off Amazon for cheap. I don't know why Southwire doesn't sell molded cases for their tools, but whatever. Alright, next up, what we got? Bada bing, bada boom, we got some levels! So, I've got my Empire cheap $4 terrible magnetic strip level here that I definitely dropped several times. That's why there's tapes on the end because all the plastic's coming apart. And then I've got my Klein Tools aluminum torpedo level, which I've used the crap out of. These have decent magnets in them. So, workhorses right here. Then we've got PVC cutters. Ratcheting PVC cutters. The chemical facility I work at is very corrosive, so they use a lot of PVC as opposed to IMC rigid to run all their electricity. So I need a good set of PVC cutters. These go up to 2.5 inch. And somebody we used to work with broke them. They're supposed to have a little clip. They can clip and close, but he broke them and then he quit. Oh well, you know who you are. Actually, there's no way you're watching this video. But screw you, man. Anyway, see what else we got. We have a straight file, flat end, rounded end, I think these are often referred to as a bastard file. Not sure why, but that's what I've heard. Use it to clean up some strut. Use it to remount the inside of a pipe. So something I learned recently about files: they cut one direction. One direction. So when you're filing something, you push towards it. Whatever you're filing, don't pull back, because you're not doing anything. You're just ruining your file. So just push, push, push. I didn't know that until recently. So if you didn't know that, now you know. Files cut in one direction. You push towards whatever you're filing, or you skate in one direction. Don't go back. That's not how it works. Then we've got a keyhole saw, a drywall saw, ceiling tile saw. What's a saw? Not much to say about it. It's a saw, but I keep it in my bag. That's why we're talking about it. Alright, next up we've got some big boys. This is a pair of lineman's pliers. Did you hear that? Linemen's, not linesmen's. Okay? There's only one S. Lineman's pliers. These are Klein brand. These have this little groove in here. If you notice on this side, it's rounded, but on this side there's a flat edge. What that's for is we use something called a fish tape. And it's this big spool of, well, in this case we're talking about metal, which is this flat little piece of metal, and you push it into a conduit, comes out the other end, you put the wire on it, and then you pull it back and it pulls the wire into the conduit. Now with metal, which are historic, now I make them out of fiberglass, which are a lot nicer most of the time. Every once in a while though, you'll use a metal fish tape, and what this is designed to do is you open it up and you can slide that metal fish tape in there and then close it down, and that fish tape will bend around. And that leverage gives you a lot more to pull on as opposed to a tiny little piece of metal. So these are really great. Not everybody knows that. Actually taught a good friend of mine recently about that. And some people just don't get told stuff. You know, they don't get told stuff. So I gotta tell people. So that's what that's for. These are also high leverage cutting pliers. Got a big blade in here. So linemen's, good to keep around. These are aught cutters, what we call them. High leverage are for cutting big wire. It says it can cut up to, I think, 2-aught soft copper. I tell you what, those are real pain in the rear. So it's all leverage. I might get a set of new ones. These might be kind of dull, or maybe I'm just weak. Very possible. Either one. Let's see what else we got. We've got a conduit reamer. Different sizes: 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1 inch. Put that in a little conduit. Give her a spin. Brings the pipe out. This end is for something. I don't know what it's for. My boss told me when I first started, don't know what it's for. The end has a little thing inside, don't know what it's for. But in there, this is just a big screwdriver. It's a big flathead screwdriver. That's all it is. What else we got in here? We've got #1 square head, or Robertson, I think they've been called before. I'm not sure. These square heads I'll use a lot in electrical panels. So keep this bad boy around. Then I've got the other half of this multi-bit Husky deal that my friend Adam got me. It is ratcheting. It also has the no ratcheting effect, which I like. Because sometimes you don't want it to ratchet. Sometimes ratcheting is a real pain in the rear. So I like that it has a no ratcheting option. Got little onboard tool storage. Hey-oh. So that's pretty neat. So keep that in my bag. Again, mostly I use it for these Allen bits. Sometimes you want a screwdriver instead of an Allen wrench or a hex key. I've got 2 more terminating screwdrivers that I rarely use, but I do use them every now and then. At 3/32 and a 1/16. So these are pretty small. Keep those in the bag. Now we've got some more workhorses. Some screwdrivers. So I've got a #2 and a #1 flathead. I've got a #2 and a #1 Phillips. I bought this. Okay, so here's the thing. All right, story time. So I bought a Klein #1 Phillips screwdriver, and I was all excited about it. I was like, "Oh heck yeah, got a #1. Let's go. It's gonna be all matchy." And I was working, trying to fix some heat trace controllers up in some pipes. And it fell out of my pocket, and I could not find it. And I was so mad. there were some other companies like ripping apart an old sulfur tank or something. I don't remember what they were doing, but I think one of them took it. I couldn't find it. I looked and looked and looked and looked. I was so upset because it was like the first day I had broken it out, and boom, it was gone. So got this is an Ideal brand pair of wire strippers. The only reason I still keep these are these will actually strip number 8 stranded, and every once in a while you run into that. So I keep these bad boys. And last but certainly not least, we've got some nut drivers. So we've got a 9/16. This is a hollow shaft. This goes way back. This is great. This is my boss gave me this. I've got 5/16, 3/8, 7/16, 1/2 inch. These are Pittsburgh brand. I bought for $9. They came with 2 more that were smaller. I never use them. Absolutely love these. These were great. I mean, they're kind of the crap. They're not great. They're not like wow, so good. But for $9, I've almost had these for 3 years. I beat on them. I've thrown them around. Abused the crap out of them, but they're still here. They haven't broken. The plastic hasn't cracked through. These ones I've used to beat like sleeve anchors into concrete. I mean, sure, the rubber's torn up and starting to come off, but they're still here. For $9, absolutely, totally worth it. This is the other portion of that. Let me find it. Who cares? It's a multi-nut driver, completely hollow shafted, except for the spring in the center, so it doesn't go all the way down, but a 5/16 and a 3/8. I use this every now and again, especially when I'm doing sleeve anchors that it might be really deep in there. I try not to beat on this because it's a nice tool, but I do every once in a while. I shouldn't, but I did. And I lied, that's really not last but not least, but last and sort of least, I've got a little pouch of tape. Some Super 33, some really cheap marking tape that's actually really, really bad, but sometimes you need colored tape, and I got it. So, all right, that is everything. That is everything that was in this bag. So let's I'm gonna bring everything back here so you can see what it looks like. It's gonna be really fun. I'm gonna empty this bag out completely, clean it a little bit because it is dirty in there. Just gonna bring everything back into frame. Bada bing, bada boom. Every day, carry this bad boy around with all this stuff in it. I have a bunch more tools, but these are the tools that I'm like, if I'm going anywhere to work, I'm going to need tools. Every single one of those is coming with me. Every single one of them. Because there's a chance I'm going to need it. Every once in a while, I might just grab this. Like I said, this is like my big boy, gotta use tools right now. The essentials, basically. You know, some dikes, some strippers, multi-nut driver, or supposed to be multi-screwdriver, some wrenches, some lock ring wrenches, baby chain needs needle nose. You know, but. So anyway, that has been my tool bag tour, if you will. I know it's been kind of long. This is, like I said, it's kind of a vanity project for me, just so I can show off all my tools. But if you're here at this point, I appreciate you watching. I had a lot of fun with this. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. There weren't any trains going by in this video, but go ahead and leave a like if you would. I'd really appreciate it. It helps the channel. That's what I'm told anyway. Subscribe for more content. Stay safe, everybody, and have a great day.